So we're going to talk about the dark horse of the Grey Knight Codex, the Servitors. Do not overlook these guys. They are much better than people give them credit for. Stick around. Alright, the Servitors, the most under-respected unit in the book. I will not lie, I have glanced over these guys in the past, and with the way that 9th edition works, these guys can actually be very useful. So their stats, their movement is 5. They have a weapon skill and ballistic skill, both of 5+. They have a strength of 3 and a toughness of 3. They have 1 wound, 1 attack, a leadership of 6, and a 4+ save. Every model is equipped with a servo arm. And the squad comes as 4, no more, no less. So the servo arm, it is a melee weapon. It is strength ×2, AP -2, damage 3, and every time the bearer fights, no more than 1 attack can be made with each servo arm. Cool. Alright. Weapon skill 5, 1 attack. It's going to be strength 6, AP -2, but it does do 3 damage. It's basically a slightly more damaged version of a halberd. It's not a nemesis weapon. Out of 5 guys, you might hit with 1 if you're lucky. You're probably not going to kill much with it. Okay, that's not why you take these guys. Up to 2 servitors can each have their servo arm replaced with one of the following: 1 heavy bolter, 1 multi-melter, or 1 plasma cannon. The heavy bolter, heavy 3, strength 5, AP -1, 2 damage. The plasma cannon has 2 firing options. You've got the standard, which is 36 inches, heavy D3, strength 7, AP -3, 1 damage blast. The other is the same, except it gets 8 strength and damage 2, blast also. But any unmodified hit rolls of 1 and made attacks this weapon's profile. The bearer is destroyed after shooting with this weapon, so blows himself up and dies. And the multi-melter is 24 inches, heavy 2, strength 8, AP -4, D6 damage. And if you are within half range, you get D6 plus 2 damage. Now, you're hitting with weapon skill, ballistic skill of 5, alright? It sucks. If you take a tech marine and he's within a certain range of these guys, they get +1 to the weapon skill, ballistic skill. Takes them to a 4s. Even then, I still think they would suck anyways at shooting, so I wouldn't bother, alright? I will basically always take these guys with just their servo arm, because they have another role to fill, alright? So, Mind Lock is this ability they have. While this unit is within 6 inches of any friendly tech marine units, they have a weapon skill of 4+, a leadership characteristic of 9, so their 6 goes to 9. In addition, if your army's battle forged for each Brotherhood Tech Marine unit included in a detachment, 1 Brotherhood Servitors unit can be included in that detachment without taking a battlefield role slot. So you can get them in there for a non-battlefield role slot. Now, they do have the keyword of Sancti Custodes, Grey Knights, and Brotherhood. Okay? They do have the Brotherhood keyword. Keep that in mind. Sometimes that could be very useful. They don't have any psychic abilities. They're one of the few, the only infantry unit actually in this book that doesn't. Why are these guys useful? Alright. They're a 30-point unit that can do actions. In an army filled with very expensive, very useful units, you don't want to be using them to do actions for the entire game. You don't want your 110-point strike marine unit to be standing there just raising a banner. Alright, you want them to be in the action doing stuff. If you waste a turn with them being able to do more important things like wiping out the enemy, moving into combat, locking things up in combat, things like that, they're not going to be doing what they need to be doing. A 30-point servitor unit can stand on one part of the board for 1 turn, retrieve Octari's data. They can move their 5 inches into another quarter, turn 2, retrieve Octari's data again, and if you're close enough to an objective, you can hold the objective at the same time, alright? The other thing they can do, they can sit in your backfield on an objective for the entire game. So the rest of your army can be out doing important stuff. They're sitting on their objective, 30 points. They can either raise a banner, they can even just sit there and do nothing for the entire game. And if they don't die, because your other person's army's focus on more important things, they're just going to sit there, and for the entire game, they'll go from turn 2, 3, 4, and 5, get 5 points every turn for holding a primary objective, and you'll get a full-blown 20 points from this 30-point unit. Now, if they do get shot at, does that matter? They're a 30-point unit, who cares? They've got a 4+ save, maybe they'll survive, maybe they won't. It doesn't actually matter. Okay, if someone is focusing on shooting the servitors off an objective in your deployment zone, they are not killing the other stuff, which is far more important. They're not going to be focusing at your strike squads. They're not going to be focusing on your interceptors. They're not going to be focusing on anything other than a 30-point unit. All right. So the servitors, possibly the most useful unit in the book. I would recommend taking 1 in every game if you can. 2 would be even better, all right? Now, one more thing. I'm gonna have to cut all this because what the hell. Alright, now, there's a lot of things in here that focus on Grey Knight Psyker unit, alright? So Gate of Infinity, Grey Knight Psyker unit, won't work on them. Sanctuary, Grey Knight unit, Grey Knight Psyker unit. Blessing, Sanctuary has a warp charge value 6, if manifested like 1 Grey Knight unit within 8 inches of the Psyker. They can have Sanctuary, you can have a 4+ invulnerable save. I didn't realise that, that's actually pretty cool.